Hello, amigo. Eagle Gardens one on Instagram, and this is We Nerd World episode 10. Oh, I got to change the windows. There we go. Mute that myself here. 10/24/24. Of course, this is an on the road episode in in travel, I guess, is what I could call this one, or should call this one. What's up, culturing? Get this mouse on. That's what I need to do. Hey, bear with me a second, guys. What's up, Trisha? Hey, Nova, Southern BT We Nerd. All right, I gotta get the mouse. I gotta get my mouse. Don't you damn. What's up, SoCal? No.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Life on the road. What's up, so? I'm even trying that one. So, Bullshit Flocker? Is that right? Let's see here. All right, got a mouse. There we go. This is a Weed Nerd World, even though it is a travel one. There we go. We got, yes, road trip moving completely off the fucking Nightmare Farm now and moving to a new location and starting over again, man. Fucking yeah. Crazy days. That's all I can say, man. Glad, glad it's time for a new chapter in life.
Keep keeping on.
Yeah, keep keeping on. Yeah, that was glad it's over. That's all I can say. Playing some music. I got a little bit of music playing, Alex. Cab Snake Oil, how you doing? What's up, hillbilly?
No.
We kind of got a little something lined up already. Uh, back to the middle of the state. Back to Genesee County, it seems like. At least that's where I am right now, Genesee County. Getting ready to hang out with my daughters for a few. Oh man, that
Mhm.
yeah, the farm was yeah. I was pretty much asked to leave, fired from the job, and told to get the fuck off the property with like no no warning. So packed my shit up and got the fuck off the farm,
Put it kindly.
to put it kindly. So
Cheers, hillbilly. No.
yeah, just like any rest of the other contractors that worked for Statman, I was treated much the same. So lessons learned. Platinum Acer F2. Nice. What are you guys smoking? I agree, Alex. I agree. It's gonna be I still somebody on it. Waiting to be able to puff down for a second.
I can
Call
use this. You can still talk. I don't see why not. We're
right on. Right on.
oh,
Jeez. Yeah, yeah, he owned the place. I'm not even saying the name.
mhm.
Right out of Pozzoli. Oh yeah. Yep, I'm actually in Flint Town at the moment, to be honest with you. Jeez, Pozzoli. Yeah, that's yeah, that's a whole. And with that being said, man, that brings up a whole nother note, that I kind of want to talk about, man. It's exposing people, friends and stuff like that to things that aren't pronounced to me really was an eye opener, man. I opened up the house, made people feel welcome in what could have been a terrible situation. All right. So that's kind of made me like, I don't know. The only thing I could say to that is, I learned a lesson in not wanting or taking anything from anybody. And this has honestly just
Reinforced.
reinforced that. And yeah. Cheers, Miranda Family Farms.
No.
I'll telescope your highness. Cheers to you. Benny Ben, what's up?
Cheers, Benny Ben.
Okay, just hanging out for a minute. Just waiting for our next location to get ready. Hopefully be moving in Monday, Tuesday-ish over there. Still gotta go get everything from downstate, which is gonna be a bum. It's another 2.5 hour ride each trip. So that's somewhat a pretty accurate description. Promised a bunch of things, none of them really came true. Actually went backwards. So yeah, yeah. In fact, yeah, it's just yeah. Uh, I'm still like in disbelief as I've literally in 1 week shoved all my shit in a fucking storage unit and got the fuck out of Dodge. Still kind of processing, as Angel calls it there.
Processing the process.
Yeah, processing the process. And
I agree with Black Eagle, by the way. Blessing in disguise, more than likely, yes.
yeah, it probably is a blessing in disguise. And it was a very huge test into the spiritual path that I've been on the last few years of trying to walk a peaceful, more enlightened path. I was 1000% tested to my limits, and not even a week. No, not even a week.
And yeah,
So yeah, it started bad and just screamed downhill. So it's a chapter I'm looking forward to putting behind me. There was a lot of, if anything, it was rich with fucking life lessons.
real.
uh, yeah, I, yeah, I just hope that whatever for the best for everybody at this point, because that was,
Wish him well.
yeah,
Wi-
everybody wish him well.
wi-
Again,
wish him well.
just glad that at the base of it, it's glad that I involved as few people as possible into that situation, and the ones that were involved, glad you seen what you seen. You know what I mean? Because a lot of that story, that chapter, is truly unbelievable. So, cheers to the ones that were there and hung out.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate you.
huge thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
And are really grateful other I've seen at least portions of what was happening. For
Cheers
sure.
to the meds, Mr. and Miss Justice Meds, Brad Anderson, solid motherfuckers right there. So,
Agreed. Agreed. Cheers, guys.
DJ, Smiley, all good people. Appreciate all you guys. whatever. Time to move on. I've really got a feeling that this is going to be a good change. So, just wait.
I'm extremely proud of him. Extremely proud of him. He was definitely tested in ways that others would have and almost should have snapped in too many times. And Eagle held tight, not only tight, but respectfully as much as humanly possible. And really, the end of the end is everybody should wish him well on the other side of the fence of that because we didn't leave for no reason. That's for certain.
Right. Your thoughts do create reality. That's for sure. And and glad it's over. It was a good day to wake up not on the farm. Let's say that. Very blessed to be off the farm.
Agreed.
Oh,
Agreed.
no shit. That's crazy, Jack. What's up, ancient soul grown? Uh,
Up for interpretation, eh?
that's true. I got part of the house, part of the harvest. Yeah, that's a whole nother story there. Let's say part of the garden was confiscated. I think that's the best way to put it. Confiscated, and I was handed some shit. Just yeah, not yeah. That whole situation's hard to even talk about. But in fact, I don't even know if I want to talk about it because I'm still unhealthily trying to swallow it down. I definitely need to get out and do some proper vetting. That's for sure. Maybe a good run, some time in the gym. Uh, I'd love some time on a heavy bag. uh, yes, yeah.
Sadly, all earned. All earned.
Cheers to Mendo Dope playing in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
Good timing.
yeah. Please do to take your chat to live chat because mine wasn't.
In part, and letting some
I
things
agree.
hit the air is also a good release sometimes. So I'm definitely with you, Jack. And processing the process is
To me, yeah, letting it out, but it's not necessarily. It needs to come out, but the best way I've always found that let it come out is like not necessarily. Sometimes on an ear, but necessarily. Sometimes it's just to spew it out into fucking nature sometimes. You know what I mean? Just to let it out on you, but not necessarily pass it along to poison another mind or the ether in another way.
very point.
Um, yeah, the fucking to walk out into nature just kind of maybe so I have been very guilty of like the primal scream, you know what I mean? Just that, just let it come from fucking basically your diaphragm, your lower belly. Just let it start there, and just like fucking release it, and it can be very soothing in the end. Crazy, probably from the other side.
or it eats stuff. Yeah, we should be barefoot out there right now, really.
Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah. You might want to turn off the interior lights before the battery.
So I guess we don't have a charger.
Will they turn off if you just take the key out? Yeah.
No, it should have been. Oh, it was already pulled. I just might not have had it pulled enough.
Good call on that.
Yeah,
Who was
thank
that
you.
cake in a cup?
Uh, have to blow this in.
Yeah, we don't have the job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Still don't know. Good call. What am I smoking? I believe this is that Mac. Is that what this is? So-called Mac.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. So far.
I need to get into some of that GMO. And Mr. Justin's meds left yesterday. Cool dude, but come met us before we hit the highway and smoked down a bit. Talked a little shit. I don't think it's up, but he started off a lot of chargers.
I wanted to shut up.
Well, I could charge for a sec anyway. Not bad idea.
I mean, that was pretty good.
Very good.
Like that. Some one of
Life, the real life. Surprise! I fired up. Well, I don't know where Puddles went.
the
Puddles was sitting on the box back there.
she's a good road.
So, this is a weird weed nerd world, I guess. You guys want to pop in and live pretty
So now you got a point.
going crazy, I guess. Really, show me how to make gold. Well, yeah, they say it can be done, Alex. They said you couldn't make diamonds either. Look at us now. It's not even a little crazy. Screaming, yeah, I agree. Heat a nuclear reactor. I guess there's a few nuclear power plants on went picked up the inverter today for the travel shows if need be. Yeah. Um, yeah, here in Michigan, there's more nuclear power than I thought we had.
Real life.
Perfect time.
Well, um,
So what's new in your guys' garden?
real life behind the scenes.
It's funny. Super funny.
Passenger.
Yeah, I was debating on whether or not oh, I'm sure he would have let you come out there and kill a bunch of shit. I'm sure it would have came with all kinds of hidden fucking ties and things you would have never even thought of.
Oh, he's a strain. So,
Lots of freeze here. Yeah, it's gonna be getting cold here in the next few nights. Well, but actually, man, I think there's 1 or 2 nights here. It's gonna get a little chill, and then we're back to like almost 50s for like another 2 weeks here in Michigan. If you were of the faint of heart, man, you could still have plants outside if you were covering it, being diligent. Some of the ones that I've seen outside that were still outside have been looked amazing. I'm blown away. Then I actually what had wondered. We've talked about, we know it's better to let it go out and natural let it senesce out naturally anyway. But man, out here in nature, we know the best part, let it go longer. But man, I think that sticky resin, the pressures of the cold winds, the threat of frost, that stickiness, it's heavenly increased as a protection. Keep keep that frost and moisture, extra moisture away from the actual plant tissue itself. You know what I mean? It's just releasing a sticky, watertight fucking leaf to protect itself from the lighter months in the fall. But man, it's pretty wild some of the sticky shit that I've seen kind of from the last week or two, extra few weeks. And nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Nature stressors.
I have to slam that door again. You want
And
to do
that
that now?
heads up, listening for the slam of the door.
Yeah.
So, SoCal's really trying not to come in. Yeah, pass on some of the genetics that I had to Mr. Justin yesterday. The other of them are in the storage unit for a minute. Hopefully, they'll fare for a second until I get some light on them. Actually, thought about just bringing them with me and just keeping them in sunlight.
Could have made it happen.
I think they would have been fine. What's up, DLP 2372? How you doing from a ringside park?
We are here.
And I'm gonna go hang out with Miss Lexi here in a little bit. The other girls are working. Should go shake them down. Go get some coffee, a frappe. No, that's the same place. Let's move.
Yeah, there's some good ones too.
Full of some kind of good string. So, what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, other than letting them go longer and longer out into this cold, what do you think the benefits are of late latter flowering, more senescence, letting them go as far as they go? For me, it was always the biggest thing that I've always noted in my indoor growing from senescence is the swell. I didn't necessarily have to add the ripeners and all that good stuff if I let the plant naturally go as long as I could let it go and senesce out. I got fatter, more swole buds. But obviously, like I'm saying, it's the latter and the outdoor stresses of the cold and the winds and yada, yada, yada. The senescence, the long-term senescence seems to add way more stickiness and trichome coverage as well. There seems to be multitudes of reasons to let the plants senesce outdoors as long as possible But what are your thoughts? What are some of the benefits of what is the biggest benefit, I'll say, of letting them go as long as you can outside? Other than, I guess, weight's a factor, but I think that's covered under as well.
Yeah, yeah, and longevity and the side effects of it, I would say. I think that's where we get the hold ability instead of just getting that kind of in and out in the head. That's when I think we get much more of a full body and it sticks with us longer
I can see
overall.
that through like the ambering of the trichomes and yeah, that's talking and that's pretty right. Um, I think there's some of that effect, but I think that's come from the ambering of the trichome, the actual changing of the medicine itself will come from that difference in effect. But is it actual taste thing as well? Is it are the terpenes becoming different because of this again the pressures, or are they becoming stronger because of more durable, maybe even?
I would have to say there's definitely a transition, a continuing and transition throughout all. So if it's creating more of a longevity and our holdability and the high, the side effects, whatever, then I would almost think it would have to be some kind of a change in the terpene profile too. What it would be specifically, that's a good question.
Southern Vermont vintage says I find some cultivars need a good rain or two to help with that as well to produce more oils to keep that J burning not going out as well. I can see that. I can see that. So oil production, more oil production. Is that covered in the stickiness category or trichome heads or
Mm,
'cause I think there's a difference too there as well. I think there is the trichome. There's a stickiness from the trichome, but not all cultivars, not all strains have that sticky. You know what I mean? That grease. Only certain cultivars strains have that greasiness to them, and I think that's a whole nother level of chemically. That ain't just like smeared trichomes or nothing. That greasiness has a layer of something all of its own. And that's something I think that just kind of builds up on the leaf is a or like again, maybe the waterproof layer. You know what I
right.
mean? That's um
I'd have to agree. 'Cause there was a strain, what was it? Molly. Molly actually that I came across, and it wouldn't stay lit for anything. Yet I knew it was clean. There was no reason for it to not be staying lit or to be oiling up the way it was, and it was actually bred to be an oil producer. It wasn't even designed to be smoked. It was designed to be turned into oil. So I would, yeah, it's got to be a little trick of the trade somewhere to pop that through.
peace DLP, have a great day from the road. Yeah. I hope you guys all harvests were great this year. If they're already pulled down and trimmed up. If not, I hope you have a safe harvest. I hope they hold out. No moles, no mildews, nothing but sticky, eggy goodness for your harvest. And don't forget to enter some of that in the sun grown competition. That's one of the ones I do like there. Uh because you can only have it once a year, right? The sun grown cup. You only harvest once a year. So that cup to me has some substance. You can only grow one season, one plant, one season. One entry per year. Did you kill it or not? You get to hold the title till next year. And I think that's the way they should be. You know what I mean? Those hops. They should have some merit, some reputation, something too. I mean, you should have some bragging rights, at least for a fucking year, not a week or a month or whatever. Um, yeah, yeah. I think the sun grown cup. Cheers to Chris, Country Roots there.
Great.
Um, yeah, it's not just that too. He last year's event was awesome. It was very you know, easy to sit down with people in a big yet small kind of setting. You know what I mean? It was quite a bit of people there, but it was intimate enough to where you could sit down at tables with friends, smoke, listen to music, do a little bit of this or that. But to me, the dinner of it all sealed the deal for
Mhm.
me.
Organza Farm.
Fucking excellent food and just again that breaking bread with friends on a large scale. It's fucking awesome. It's just fucking awesome. That whole potluck thing. Everybody can enjoy that. That's as good as the event there. It's just like the holiday meals with your friends. I mean, or the family. I mean, how many times do you can't wait for Christmas because you can't wait for Aunt such and such fucking cobbler fucking pie or fucking the fruit fucking whip bullshit or you know what I mean? Or that one fucking special dish they made. That's kind of what I take away from that sun-grown event there. It's like, man,
Yes.
looking forward to that one, man. Just looking at all the good food and the weed. Cheers to that event for like, that's awesome,
We're
man.
keeping the old school feel.
Yeah.
We want it back so much, and they hit the mark with that. The smaller, intimate. Uh, yeah, keeping that old school feel was really nice. Really nice.
And here I'll go on a small little rant, but I'll keep the names nameless. Recently I've seen some posts about people not supporting events and not posting about events. Um, That's good and great, and I like to do that when I feel that the event is supportable or it's something that I feel I can want to do. But at the same time, I see a lot of these so-called events in this in particular, you know, I don't see a lot of these people shouting out any of this. And then when they do shout out people, if they shout them out, you have to be a paid sponsor. So they want your money before they'll shout you out in a limited post. So that was kind of a cheap shot, my man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of passive aggressiveness, happening.
I don't know. I really appreciate the events. We should support the ones that we want to support and not feel obligated to, I guess is, or shamed if we don't. I
Yeah,
guess that's the boiled down
yeah,
side of it, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Support's just supportable.
Say hi in chat.
Be
Is this thing
careful.
on? My chat's been pretty standstill for like 5 minutes. There we go. I I get a pizza. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Smiley. Yeah, the only reason why we go to these events is, to say hi to each other. We need to be more organized and just be fucking saying hi to each other.
They definitely used to mean something, and then they've just been so dramatically watered down at this point. Um, I agree with everything Eagle says about it because it's what's happened. It's what's happened. They used to mean something, and they just, I don't know, things aren't like they used to be. Props to Sungrown again. Props to Sungrown again.
Cheers, Mrs. Smile, Mrs. Justin Smith. Looking forward to hanging with you and the Mister. Hopefully soon. Dr. B, leave me alone. Cheers. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to go to the sun grow. That's one I'm looking forward to very soon. Some good stony weed too. Good times. Well, and that's the thing too, at one point we looked forward to them because they were a little bit more sparse. You know what I mean? Came to uneventful. That's a great word, Brad.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
That is the best description. The events became uneventful. Wow. That's
uneventful.
that's that's the most best description I have heard yet. Thank you, Brett.
Sad, but
The
yeah,
events are uneventful.
sad, but yeah. Uh,
Thank you.
they can come back. They can come back.
I have some amazing ideas for some fun events that would be cool someday. Jack Greenstock rolling in, which means I get to pause this music in the background. Hold on. Although I know you guys probably wouldn't have listened to the Dirty Hits. This one's DJ Shadow. All right, get back here to Jack. What up, Jack? I'll get my chat back.
I'll probably do this real.
What up? What up? Cheers.
What up, man?
Stop in and say hello. I got a little break before I head back into work, so I'll smoke a bowl with you.
Right on. Right on, man.
Cheers, Jack.
This is Angel. Angel, Jack. I guess this is your first official introduction.
Yeah, we bounced around, around the crowds together for a lot of years.
Good to
So,
officially meet you. I've seen you on here plenty of times. Cool to actually get to say hello.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Cheers to you for certain.
I know that you two are on the forefront of better things, so that's a good thing. I've been there. I've had my car packed full of stuff, and at least you got a car. At least you got a vehicle.
I
I,
believe it as well.
yeah, actually, too many of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've got, well, this is her ride packed full. I've got one of my other ride packed full, and then I have the truck still stuck in South Haven that I gotta go get in the next few days. And then another storage unit. Back to the storage unit fun. I gotta pull 11. I've got a 10 by 35 full of tools and fucking junk. I've gotta fucking get back to wherever. So that'll be fun.
We Tetrised it well.
I love the road trips though. I mean, I really
Take the
do spend
tools and rid of the junk,
there.
or cut back on the junk at least. When I moved across the country, and my wife and I both had to pack into a Mini Cooper, we had to leave a lot of stuff behind. But sometimes fresh start's good.
I
Fresh.
agree. With each one, the pile keeps getting smaller, and like even today, I was trying to dump a little bit more off onto the kids that are finally starting to get their own place and shit. I'm like, oh, you want these? Uh-huh, yeah, I'm coming back with them. All yours. I'm never moving it again. And some of it, man, is a lot of it is shit that I built over the years. And shit of it, some of it, most of it is shit that's rightfully theirs. There's one of the kids' toy box, and there's other shit that I built that it's rightfully theirs. It's time for it to go home. I'm looking forward to it all though. Yeah, I got a
I'm
good
sure
feeling.
there's definitely a sentimental value on both of your parts, but if they don't still want it, I'm sure you might be able to get a couple bucks for it somewhere, like a Goodwill or something like that, and make yourself some space, take a little cash, and move on. You know, maybe they will want it though. You're right. I think it's good to give them the chance because heaven knows you give the one toy box away, and then a month, a year, however many days later, say, "Oh, hey, Dad, whatever happened to that old toy box? I want it for my kid, or I want it for my jewelry, or I want it for whatever." So then you be like, oh damn, I should have fucking kept that thing. But for the most part, as
And
long as you ask.
you're right on that aspect. It was designed and built to be enjoyed, and just like anything else, a good meal. I love to cook just as much, and passing that food and watching somebody else enjoy the goodness is the best part of making the meal. So, to pass on one of these pieces that I've been dragging around because I love them myself. And, I'm tired of lugging them around too. But you're right. Maybe it might be time to pass them on and watch, you know, somebody else enjoy that shit, and I get the joy of making another meal or another piece someday, and letting the cycle continue. Right now, I guess it's got the cycle locked up.
You're gonna have to start making stuff for the grandson or sons. I don't know how many there are at this point, but I know you
Just
got at
one.
least one grand dude, grand Bubba.
He's darling. He's so darling.
You two playing together is the cutest thing ever. That's like Eagle at his purest, happiest moments. I think are more so than sparking any joint of any great harvest. It's the smile you get when you see that little kid running.
Yeah. Good times for sure. For sure. We have been through a lot of travels. That's for sure. A lot of good times. A lot of sunsets. Yeah, for sure. I think we're coming up on 2 years. We're about what, a year and three quarter, kind of right in that mark right now. I'd like to think we've had 250 sunsets. You know what I mean? Easy, easy there for a while when we were in Holton Lake. We tried to catch as many. I'd pick her up every day when she worked. I'd pick her up. She'd get off just in time for a sunset, so I'd pick her up, roll a couple joints, pick her up from work, and then head straight to. We had a nice little spot where you could pull up, boom, right facing nose to the lake. The truck nose right to the fucking lake, but yeah, like 6, 8 feet up. You know what I mean? That's where we do the sunsets all the time, but we could pull right up in the car and just sit there and chill and smoke and not have to. But it was a great spot for sure.
I'd
Yeah.
argue, and I've been a lot of places. Oh, I got a spam call. But there's, I think, no better sunsets than on the Great Lakes. It's just like
Gorgeous.
beautiful up there. And I was used to seeing them on Lake Erie, but Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, all of them, it looks like an ocean for the most part, depending on where you're looking at it from. And just like it's so flat oftentimes, that kind of like stairway to heaven effect that you get where like the sun hits the water and it kind of creates that whole nice lit path. And when it finally sets, you get all the different crazy colors and sometimes you see a little flash or whatever. But I always enjoy a good sunset.
Agreed. Agreed.
Sadly enough, man, the whole time we were in South Haven there, fucking just 15 minutes. We were 15 minutes from the lake edge there. We never really got to enjoy a sunset until shit hit the fan and we were like fucking reeling to leave. You know what I mean? And taking those car rides to, pack shit up and whatever. It was the time that we felt the most comfortable and got to enjoy those sunsets. We probably got to what, three or four, 3 or 4 out of the last 3 or 4 months. And they were beautiful, man. I gotta tell you, them South Haven sunsets on there on Lake Michigan there, I can see why people want to be there and enjoy that. Some $1 million homes right there. That's for multi-million-dollar homes right there on them shores. And you could see why, man. That thing was probably one of the biggest I've seen it, across that lake with nothing but the weird haze and shit across the water, and definitely amazing. Yeah, now I think about it, I want to say sorry, you guys, that I never had the chance to bring you guys any of those because I like to bring you guys along on some of those amazing sunsets and the few that we got to enjoy. Man, we missed out on a lot.
It was as if the piece kind of found us in the whole last transition. Because yeah, we definitely missed out on a lot of what we were normally doing at the time for certain. We did get a good. The colors were beautiful, and through and around everything we were driving through was definitely gorgeous, and we did catch a couple sunsets.
Yeah,
And there's still more to come, so we can still get them in on something somewhere.
right on. Loads to be gotten from South Haven.
Are you still a running man? I know you were on the, you know, half marathon and all sorts of
It's
different.
time to get back, man. Though I got there and things were pushed to the limits, man. I didn't have time for a run, man. I was expected to be working pretty much 24 hours a fucking day while I was there. And the pressures of it all just I don't like anything for free and the pressures of like what was to be the deal, of it all with mounting costs like day by day, just I never had the chance to run. I never ran. I haven't ran in 3 fucking months. The only time that I got that was that last race in the middle of the move. I was so frustrated. I like signed up for that 25 K in the middle of it all and just a sporadic overnight. Fuck this. I need to run moment and I hadn't ran in a couple of weeks and physically exhausted and I fucked myself up on that a little bit. But man, I'm soon as I the last week or two I've been dying to run. My legs, everything's like, get back out there. Beautiful. There's been people I've been watching people run by me like fucking today, just now, as we pulled by, some dude's like I'm like, God dang it, I should be out doing some of that. So yes, I plan to get back into that. I was passing Planet Fitness gyms memberships, on the way here. I'm like, fuck, man. See, up north, I had the sponsor and that one, awesome shout out to Fulton Lake 24 Fitness, awesome people, but the only one location. You know what I mean? And I'm far from there, but when I was traveling a little bit more, like on the races, when I was doing the races a little bit more, I was thinking I need to get a Planet Fitness membership because I could be stopping in and doing a quick mile on a treadmill or whatever. But I think I'm gonna look into something like that here to where I can take that membership multi places if I need to or whatever. But yeah, the gym will be back for sure. We will be back in the gym.
Do you road run at all?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I know you've taken time off because all the work and stuff, but yeah, I was like,
I
fuck a gym membership. I'd rather be out there in nature running around
I
if
agree
possible.
with that wholeheartedly, area permitting. There's some areas you just don't want to fucking run through. And that was the kick in the dick over there. Uh, the whole time I'm over there, there's the South Cahill. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
South, yeah, Cahill, something like that, where it's an old railroad that ran from like Kalamazoo down to the lower part of the state that they pulled up and have made a hiking bike slash running trail that goes like a fucking 100 miles or something like that through all this beautiful terrain. They're awesome cats. Ah, a big fat white cat.
No. Oh, it looks like my Morgan Review is
Never got
ready.
to check them out. You know what I mean? I drove along them all the time, but never got to run them while I was there. So
Hmm.
Well, now you've got plenty of new trails to explore. That's a good problem to have.
yes,
And
sir.
I'm with you. Like the area I'm in isn't the greatest for running, just because like the road traffic and area, like you could kind of be running along streets and stuff. It's developed. If you get down to the beach, running on the beach is a motherfucker though. I don't know if you've ever run in deep sand, but they just did a like dredge where they took a bunch of sand from out in the ocean and like put it up onto the beach because it was getting kind of rocky. And so it's real deep now. Even walking is kind of a challenge. So
It's kind of
that's
funny where I'm at right now, and this is as real as it could get, Jack. I'm on like the outskirts of Flint. So if I run this way, I would probably be considered a health buff. But if I ran that way from the light, I would probably be considered stealing something
And
and running. Or there'd be something wrong if I ran that way. Why is that motherfucker running healthy?
I've been there
well,
too. When I'm at Lady Greenstock, we lived in a place called Pine Hills, and I didn't know that it was often referred to as Crime Hills in Florida. One of my coworkers told me that. They're like, "Oh, you live in Pine Hills?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, what about it? And I couldn't hold it against them for judging because there was like a drive-by shooting right at the Chinese restaurant where we picked up our dinner like 30 minutes after we got our food. Like a bunch of teenage kids got shot up selling who knows what on the, corner by the corner store. But it was a wild place, man. Florida is as crazy. There's funny enough, you should do this sometime. Type in the words Florida man and then your birthday. So like Florida man October 1st or whatever. And then there's always some crazy ass story that'll pop up on your birthday of some shit that some Florida man did. And yeah, you got to do it sometime. Mine was like Florida man naked, like stab someone or some shit. It was just like there's multiple, but like the other one that was on my birthday was Florida man arrested for trying to use taco as ID. He was so fucked up. He was trying to give the cop a taco as his identification. So always fun to Google Florida man and then your birthday. You'll find some kooky shit.
Florida man arrested for botched castration on another.
I
Ouch.
told you, this shit's wild. You never know. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're a little bit gruesome or graphic,
Oh,
but it's wild.
That's wild. Holy
Florida is a
shit.
crazy place, man. I guess
Oh,
nowhere is
for
perfect.
sure. Yeah, that's very true as well.
and then there's other places.
Before I run,
Yeah.
you're near Flint. Have they fixed the water situation there?
Slightly. Nah.
No,
Like you can
no.
shower and drink, or you're worried too?
Well, that depends actually. I mean, that's still the source I think has been cleaned up a little bit, but the pipes are still there. So if you've got an older home that still has lead pipes and shit like that, you're still in a fucky area. A lot of these, I don't, I've drove through this city. I can't see anywhere where they've done the infrastructure, tore up roads, and
I know a lot
no.
of it was just like the fracking though, like that you could literally catch the sink on fire. It wasn't like a heavy metals issue. Like you could spark your lighter next to it and it would literally catch the water on fire. So that was what
Well,
but
it was
lead pipes are sketchy too and old. You're right. If your house has old pipes, that could fuck you up just as bad.
well, it's that it was a multitude of things really. Um, when they switched to the river and then they were pulling out toxic shit out of the river. The human waste place is like not far upstream from where they were dumping it into the river, and then they were sucking it back up right downstream and using it for drinking water. And then they were treating it with fucking all kinds of chemicals that corroded the pipes and released lead bullshit into the drinking water. So it was not just the lead pipes, it was the chemicals to clean the water that was actually making shit get worse. And it's still somewhat going on. People still got bad pipes. They haven't really fixed a lot of the infrastructure. They've just kind of changed the source and said it was better.
Yeah, I'd have to answer that with if you believe them, then sure, it's been cleaned up a little bit, but I don't believe them because just in how it all came about and what the reality actually is now.
Always good to be
When you have
skeptical.
friends. Right,
of the
exactly. You have
government.
friends that lost babies, and you have friends that died to Legionnaire's disease that Flint water caused. You're a little sketchy about what they have to say about it now.
And then I want to speak on this topic in general because I came from here. I was here before the Flint water problems. I was seeing the whole shit go down. I moved up north, and the water up there wasn't much better. Uh, Then where I was at the last house, that water was fucking. If you let it sit overnight that in the sink, if you like made dishwater the night before you went to bed, let some pan soak in there. When you got up the next morning, that water was black. Whatever was microbes or whatever, that water would be black. So that water, in my opinion, shit. So then we move down there to South Haven, and the water in that house fucking came out of you fill a bathtub of that water and it was blue blood brother, blue blue blue. And they were talking to the farmers and they were saying it was because of the high magnesium content in it. The water out of the tap was 9.5. 9.5 right out of the tap. So and then so we encountered that right off the bat and we're like, all right, we're not drinking this or feeding it to the animals. So we started buying the jug waters. So we were going to Walmart and Myers and filling our jugs from the Occupur or whatever that is, you know what I mean? And when you hit the button in that bitch, the smell of fucking chlorine was so fucking strong it about knock you out. It was like you were taking it straight out of a fucking swimming pool. So it obviously wasn't being reverse osmosis and fucking filtered, light filtered, UV filtered, and all that good shit like it said it was. It was coming out a fucking million miles to the gallon. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, there's no confidence it was being properly filtered, and you could smell the chemicals in it. Literally, I mean, the next days after, when you opened up the 5 gallon thing, put the pump on top of it, that fucker would still blow you off. You know, I mean, just from across the room, you could smell chlorine. So even by water, that other than straight out of a jug, the most expensive way you could buy it, you know what I mean, by the gallon that was the only way you could get away from, and have somewhat paste, non-smelling water that was good for you, the plants, and the fucking dogs. And it's getting bad. It ain't. That's what my assessment is. It ain't just Flint. Fucking everything underneath this ground, damn near. At least the first aquifer is fucked. And that's what they were saying there at least at the farm, from what I was being told. You had to go on through 2 levels of clay to get to drinkable water. So,
I believe it. The water. My brother is a history teacher. He believes that some of the next wars could be fought over fresh water, and like living by the Great Lakes, that's one of the largest sources in the U.S. And it's kind of crazy that so many places. It's not just Flint. There are a lot of places, and even where I'm at, we get water reports every year, and they claim it's whatever, whatever. But I'll do independent testing, and it always shows a little bit worse than what they send you in the paper report. Ours is admittedly actually very good. I'm lucky where I'm at, but I still get filtered water from like specialist places. Like there's like water stores out here that literally do just that. They do have those machines, but like you said, some of the places they don't. Maybe it's like they don't update it or they run it differently, or like you said, they just like bleach it or whatever the hell and don't actually do the UV filtering. But I've gotten some good water out of some machines, but it just all depends. I think everybody's got to try their local sources and figure out what the best solution is for them. And even like
well,
showering is certainly a concern. They do have like little pre-shower filters and things like that, or shower
I
heads that
watched the
kind of take
guy
some of the
way
stuff
back
out.
when Team Boone Pickett's he's like a Texan billionaire, and he was talking about, and that was like in the 90s, about owning all the water and making everybody buy it by the fucking bottle and shit. They were like, shouldn't water and air be a human right? And he was like, not if I can charge you for it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm kind of like. The more food for thought I've had about this whole water thing is what is the why would they want to do too much? You know what I mean? For the water. We're talking about the water people, you know what I mean? They're charging it. Why would they want to fucking bare bones it to your tap for you and make it easy and a human right when they can make you buy it by the bottle and the gallon at the most expensive way they can? Where's the incentive to fucking clean your pipes, provide you fresh water when they can go, we're working on it. Keep buying them cases of water. They're fucking making us rich as shit. Why would they want to fix the water? You know what I mean? We need, a private infrastructure, somebody else, somebody, a third party or something, somebody that gives a fuck that doesn't have money already wrapped into it. That isn't because it's the same thing. It's like again, back to weed. All right. There's always, if you were moving weed, there's always been the big guy, and he made a lot of money in the risk, but when it came down per unit, his 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 costs weren't that great. You know what I mean? He made his money in the many he moved, right? Then the next guy breaks down every time. You make a little bit more because the risk becomes greater and greater the further down the line. The big guy only sees one guy. The next guy down sees two to four. The guy down from them sees four to 30. You know what I mean? It is the guy that actually makes the most off that pound or ounce is the dude that's breaking down the fucking ounce and breaking it all up into fucking eights. Da, 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 da. He's the one buying the quarter pound for 350 and breaking that down into eights and turning that 1 ounce into fucking $400. You know what I mean? That's the guy that's making the money because he's breaking it down as small as possible, charging you the most. And the phrase that I like that I've learned from Miss Angel here is, and it's very true, it's costly to be broke. And that's fucking true. You can't, you know what I mean? When you're just getting by, they've got us nickeling, diming us, paying the most for the least we can get. When you're upsizing or you're the next guy up, you're buying in bulk, saving money. And it's yeah, save, you know what I mean?
It's extremely
Work.
expensive to be poor.
But when
Extremely.
you're buying it nickel and dime, you know what I mean? You're paying the most. That guy's making the most money. System is true today. Who's making the most money? The farmer? He's making some good money. But the storefronts part can still to this day is charging anywhere from $6 to $35 a fucking gram. Is the farmer getting that? Fuck no. It's a guy that's, and again, you've got the storefront, but again, back to the day, that guy made the money because he took all the risk. He had 50 people coming in and out of his house. You know what
Most
I
work.
mean?
The most work.
So they made the most money. But the people that didn't want to take the fucking hassle, the most risk, yada yada yada. Yeah, here it is. Take four, get out of here. I make my money for you coming back and forth. I
It's funny because like
ain't taking a
I
risk.
knew
I only
people that
want
were
five people coming to my house.
I knew people that were the same guy on the very bottom who broke it down, some even to the gram or like the 10. And one of them would buy watches and fancy clothes and this and that, and the other one just stacked it up. So it's like it comes down to the individual and how they choose to spend, and everyone's circumstance is obviously different, but it is interesting to see. It reminds me of like my wife's worked in the industry out here, and she was the head purchaser at a delivery service. She was buying a little over $2 million worth of weed every single year from 100 to 200 different brands. And so we would get samples from every single one of those brands. And it was kind of a wild experience to see 80 to 90% of it was garbage. But even that 10 to 20% that was good, there's a lot of like marketing, being at the right place at the right time, having connections, and just like dumb luck sometimes. Like it's a crazy market, and I think it's always good to just try and remind people to live within their means. There's always going to be something new and flashy to buy, but if you can keep your costs low and save any money you can, especially when prices of everything is so ridiculous, it makes it harder to save. And I get it, I've been there. I'm fucking barely saving anything, but the little money that you can set aside is nice to have for if that emergency pops up or whatever. Uh, I don't know where I'm really rambling on, but I got about 1 minute because I just pulled into work, about to go work out with a client. I'm chilling here in the car. I guess I could say hello. I
Yeah,
finally stopped
we're
driving. I was
relatable.
listening. We're both in the car now, so I'm one of the.
It's an official travel episode, as titled.
I was listening in the chat. Funny enough, on my drive home, and I was like, when I get home, if they're still on, I'll smoke a bowl, hang, and chill. But I do got to get going. Peace and love, y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later.
Have a good day, Jen, brother.
Cheers, Jack.
Nice meeting
With
you.
that being said, I believe.
You
Oh,
as well, for certain.
cheers, Zach. With that being said, I think that's probably a good place to wrap this one. We've got some shit to take care of ourselves. I debated on whether or not to check in, but like I said, that's why I bought this fucker, I guess, is so I can keep things going no matter what was happening. And once again, I appreciate you guys hanging out through the trials, tribulations, ups and downs, the realness of it all. But hope you enjoyed hanging out this afternoon. I greatly appreciate you guys and your time. Um, I see Fazoli already hit me up with a number here in Flint. Hit me up if you're in the area, want to hang sometime soon. Let me know. We're in the Genesee County area for the moment. Uh, seeing where the fuck it goes.
We have no idea, but we'll see.
I might be here, might be there. Nothing's in cement yet, so we're figuring it out.
Underway.
Cheers, guys. Have a great week. And what is it? It's Thursday, isn't it? Holy shit. We may see you again. With that, we get a little got to see some more nights ahead.
What?
We may see you again. So with that being said, you guys have a great day and we'll see you soon.